Hello, I'm Scout with 3 Guns Down, and welcome to another episode of Freebies. In this episode of Freebies, we're going to be highlighting Hawken, as you can clearly see. This game is amazing. First thing I love about this game immediately when I jumped into a match was the loading screen. Not per se loading into the game, but this right here, it's first-person Mech HUD. You can move around when this is going on, but I really didn't want to because I was just staring at it like, that's pretty cool. And it is. It's pretty amazing. In my opinion, it's more immersive, more aesthetic feel look. It just makes it seem so cool, and that's things that I like. It's a little flash, it's a little catch, but it makes sense for this kind of game. You know, it's nothing stupid, arbitrary, or out there. Now, this game is free to play, of course. Why else would it be on Freebies? It is a mech fighting arcade game. A lot of people have compared this to MechWarrior, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. I've played MechWarrior online, and I've played this. I'm a fan of MechWarrior. I played MechWarrior when I was like 4 or 5 years old and have since then on PC when it first came out. And then, Mech Assault, which Microsoft branded on the Xbox, which I didn't really care too much for. This game's better. And I wanted MechWarrior to be very good. I did. But MechWarrior, the thing with MechWarrior was it tried to appeal to the old fan base, which is a bunch of 40-year-old men, which include my father, by the way. He does play it on his. But MechWarrior Online is much slower, strategical at a slower pace. I'm not going to say more strategical, and you'll see why here in a minute. But it's strategical at a slower pace. It tries to assume too much realism on what we thought back in the 90s, like mechs would be today. Today, we assume if we make mechs, they're going to be faster, more agile, because of how our technology is accelerating, and this is why I think this game makes more sense in my opinion. Now, it is free to play. It is a shitload of fun. You have a variety of 3 mechs, light, medium, and heavy. Heavy have big weapons, big armor, but they're very slow. Medium are a mix between light and heavy, of course. They can have, heavy weapons or light weapons and be fast or be slow with lots of armor or little armor, depending on which one you go for. They have variations. Light mechs tend to have light weapons, light armor, but they're extremely fast. I'm playing a Berserker, which is a light mech. However, I'm thinking about switching my class to something more like an Assaulter or an Infiltrator, or something that's a medium mech that's meant to constantly be up there and hitting them, because I do like being very fast. However, I also like getting in people's faces and being like, "No, fuck you!" As you see here, I forget that I only have 550 armor compared to some of these guys that have like 650, 750, 800. And then even the heavy tanks, which I'll go toe-to-toe with still, and I actually win quite a few. But they have upwards of 1,000, and I can still actually beat them. So, and it's balanced that way. It is a very balanced game, and I think that's the one thing I like about it so much, is that it is balanced. Just because you're a heavy mech doesn't mean you're going to blow everybody out of the water because you have superior firepower and superior armor. You're slower. You can't outmaneuver anybody, and maneuverability is a huge key in this game. Being able to go from side to side, like dodging my EMP right there. A heavy mech couldn't have done that. His weapons would have shut down. I should have dodged that, but I wasn't paying attention. But, if I had EMP'd him right there, his weapons would have shut down. He'd have been useless, and all he had to do was run. Unfortunately, he's a heavy mech, and he can't really run. However, he does have the armor to withstand my blasts until his weapons come online again. So I have a short window to pretty much blast him as hard as I can, very accurately, and then I have to run around him, evade him while he's shooting back at me. So it is balanced that way, and I think that's what I love about this game so much. It has some interactive things that are really cool. For instance, this map, it shows when your enemy or your allies spot somebody on the map, and it shows where everybody's at, and it shows what their name is out from side of it. I will say this game is much funner playing with friends. For a couple of reasons. This game absolutely pushes teamwork as a necessity. You have to think in conjunction with each other. You have to do flanking. You have to work as a team, more so than Battlefield does, and Battlefield pushes for it pretty hard on console. If you're working together as a team, you definitely notice it, and you definitely win a lot more. This one's so much more. If you're a lone mech, like I tend to be, trying to go behind them and flank them, and they notice you before you get any real shots, this happens. Kaboom. You have to work as a team. When I was playing with Chris and a few other guys we got during one evening, we were coordinating, talking online, chatting to each other, and just simply destroying the competition. It was brutal and ugly, and I loved it. Now, other than light, medium, and heavy mechs, mechs have different roles and different weapons. There's several weapons, 8 or 9 primary weapons, and there's 5 to 6 secondary, which are your main big cannon weapons. There's also so many customization abilities that we're going to get to towards the end of this video before I close it out, and you'll get to see a quick sneak peek of them. And you can take a mech and spec in it entirely in a different talent tree and play it completely different to how someone else would play that exact same mech. That is what's so fun about this. And the other thing is that it's free to play, but their prices, it's amazing. So $10 gets you 1,400 to 1,420 meteor cash. It takes 700, or it gets you a little more than that. But it takes 720 meteor cash to unlock one mech. So for $10, you can unlock 2 mechs. So essentially, a mech is $5. That's not bad pricing. And then there's things like camos, changing parts on your mech. You can customize them, make them look different from other mechs or the same mech. And that's really cheap too. It's like $1, $2 maybe at the most. So there's a lot of customization, a lot of cool things you can do here for really cheap. They're not price gouging you in any way, and it's all optional. 6,400 credits or something like that to buy a new mech. I got that within like my first 7 or 8 matches of playing this game. Less than 3 hours of playing this game, I bought a new mech. Just like that, instantly. And I plan to buy 1 or 2 more here in the near future and to play around with them. And that's the great thing. This game is forgiving. You know, it encourages experimentation even because everything's so cheap for you to get, so cheap for you to buy, that it's like, why the hell would you not? So, you know, 6,000 some credits, I had that in, again, 5 or 6 matches, less than 3 hours of gameplay, I was getting another mech already. The other great thing about this is, all this that's in the beta right now, when this game goes full and they fully publish this game as free to play out from beta, everything you've played and gained in the beta carries over to the full game. So don't worry about, you know, well, I had no point in playing it in beta, I'm going to lose everything. Go play this. The community's not big enough as it is right now. They've got 4 awesome modes to play in. Team Deathmatch, Siege Mode, Missile Attack, which is where you control 3 points. It's kind of like Domination, but you do damage to each other's bases. Siege Mode's really fun too. You each have, it's a very unique mode to this game. And then you also have straight up deathmatch, which is pretty much free for all. I highly encourage you to go play this game. It's probably a game I've had the most fun with in such a long time that is free to play, more so than Warframe. And Warframe was a hard one to beat for me because Warframe didn't feel grind or anything like that, but this one is just so much fun. Play with friends, that's one thing I can definitely say. Even if you're not playing with friends though, which I'm not half the time, I still have a blast. There's so many customization options and so many different ways to run one particular mech. You can really find your niche in how you want to play a particular mech or a particular class. Totally suitable for you, and you don't have to pay a dime. No, your mech's not going to look different from everybody else's, but it's going to play completely different from everybody else's. You build up credits at a pretty quick rate, especially if you're doing really good. If you're doing really good, you build credits up at an extremely fast rate, and it's so easy to get new parts, so easy to build on, and it's so much fun. Hope you guys enjoy this game as much as I have been. That's it for this episode of Freebies. The link to download the game to their website is in the description below. Our Facebook and our Twitter are down below. I'd love for you guys to come play with me. Hit me up here in the comments below with your Hawken tag, or on Facebook or on Twitter, wherever, you know. And I'd love to have more people come play with me. And I actually do plan on doing some more things of Hawken. I love it so much. That's pretty much it with me from Scout, 3 Guns Down. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our videos, and leave your comments below on thoughts on this game and what game you think we should show next on Freebies. I'll see you guys later.